Alofa, Malu so fu manguia, lo fionga savea, Malu, faftai lava mule avnoa, ne asu faisinga Malulu fo ile le kaule asu ngai e o kilangi.
Moni wa vai me o mo fai pelaui. Le o te tala male a fo male jacket fo le fa tau tau mai il no fo. A wa le taimi e mai a to ile tatu por kala me le fiafi. E tai a o le Malulu pe ta tala tu lo fai to. E o le ya le me siri o le na mo lo so fo la le va vai fo i sulu o tila. Ya le ngai ki au le ma e malos. Da mai lo vai aso ma le fai unga fo lava yaso wa tona yatu.
Ma ngai vai aso PC fo a faisinga PC fo le vai aso in ngā luenga ai mai se fo le ainga fo il whāngau PC fo le fulu ka ngā se fo le grandchildren mai si ka maiki but getting better now vi ele tu me uba they slowly getting better. The weekend for busy for the weekend with sports, kameki, church, local, kongais, and it goes fast. Vave for the weekend, ali save.
Ma li la ma. Tele au le pisi o le vave vol na o le alo le va o le watsi la to ia. Ya fa tai o le fo ta to e fe lo ai. La I nisi sa vala o to fo mo to talando ma fa nga tu ta telefoni e so ta i tuai.
Yes, whaftai lava sa vea after last week's pokalame, ngā vili mai, I think I had about 5 phone calls last week, so we booked the appointments, walu e Vailako out in their house in Okilangi, and a couple more booked for this week, so it was good, whaftai lava, mula whangoa. It was very good.
Whaftai, au whafunga baila tātou tunu o e whanga solo i o le mātala noanga, fwoi mo leo so ia mat lua tua. Tau te wa ai lunga le tātou screen o lo iai i le telefoni ma le numero le nā tango i wha mau i lalo. E au ngā le nā uma le talanoanga ai ma whaiona e wala au le sunga ia mat e sosoni i atu i samata upo lo mana o mi ai le sosoan. O lua fitu, valu tolu fitu, valu wha, valu o. E lau sunga bent, o le a le tā ua tele o le iai o se tangata pe o lau sunga. Iai le malama I mata upu tau insurance and for yona so ali ma fa malama tili. In other words, what's the benefit of having an advisor like you to advise our people on such matters with insurance?
My facility, thank you. More lava le disclaimer more severe, please. So high level information only. Let's say advice is just information, generic. Among say advice, really may out, then we can sort out a time to come and see you, and I can go through my advice process. But today, ngale information only. So, what is the benefit of using an advisor? Insurance advisor. So first and foremost, a free little service. So every time I go out and see my customers, after they ring me then I always explain to them through my scope of service and my disclosure. A free little service. So I don't charge you any money. So we can talk for 2 hours, but doesn't matter. It's a free service. Let's see, benefit is that I go to the market. I don't just use one insurance company. Example, Aluel Bank, you can go to the bank and do life insurance with the ASB, for example. Aluel ASB, then they will put you through the company there called AIA. But then AIA will do your life insurance, but only AIA they can use. Same thing, Aluel ANZ, then ANZ will put you through to Chubb. BNZ will put you through to Partners Life. So if you go through the bank, it's good. They can help you, but the only problem is they can only use that one insurance provider. But service is I can go to all the top providers. So I can go to AIA, Astron, Chubb, Fidelity, Partners Life. I can tell them, bring me your prices for life insurance from Mole. For life insurance, for example, and let me know what your prices will go for this insurance. And I can pick the ones that I know is suitable for my clients. So the benefit if I'm an insurance advisor, because I do all the work for them, for my clients. And so the other benefit too is I come there, they gave me so most of my clients say, out. But some of my clients for my will busy for it because I can go there. But if you go through the direct channel with the bank, ele mawhainga sen laku ngaka le bank ia o i lo Fale. You have to come to the bank i le aso during the day, 9 to 5, when the bank's open. So you have to take off time off work and whangoi to your boss. Muli, can I take off time? I've got to go sort out my insurance. So my service is quite flexible. I can come in the evening there, I can come in the morning, even the weekend. Your clients in the weekend as well. So that's another benefit of low service is very flexible. I use the market. I pick the best insurance company to suit low clients there. And so those are all the benefits available with low clients. I do all the work for them. It's not just sign them up with the insurance. I never ring them again. Keep in touch with my clients throughout the year. Some of my clients were sangi last year ko sanga, but I still keep in touch. They keep in touch with me.
Very nice.
Then they ask me if they need to fill out another form. For example, they see client me a ad langa kali'i on the insurance policy to make a joint ownership. Then I go to the insurance company, get the forms, get the client to sign it. So I do all the work, the middle work for a lot of clients. If there's a claim, touch wood, Savia, ele kupuse claim, but remember the whole idea of insurance is come claim time. That's when it matters. That's why I say to my clients from Mule, when I ask you all these medical questions, please kali sa'o mayo answers, please I will be pelo because I be pelo. If I say, have you had a suka, have you had a diabetes, have you had a heart attack, mai faku, and you say le ai, yeah, my mouth gave me kong yangi insurance because what Lord gave me a claim, mate. It could take 10 years, claim law, or 20 years, or 5 years. What Lord gave me now, then it's no good, Fale Kongo, because the insurance company, they boko. They never just say, yeah, Lord said, I've a client, man. No, they go straight to the formatting notes that time, and they check the application that I did with my client way back in 2025. But now the year now, for example, is 2040. They go way back to today and siaki all those answers. And I say, Sekali, if there's one thing wrong in there,
There's a claim.
no money. And so that's very important. So I do all of that work for my client. Chase the insurance company, fill the forms, any changes. So it's a very full-on service, working for our clients, and we're there all the time for them. Not like a bank where you just come between 9 to 5 to 8. We do all the work behind the scenes for them, do the reports, generate the reports, any changes they want to make every year, because for some insurance price every year. And sometimes all of the 5-year mark come car. So the client might want to cancel it, but better cancel it. They might want to reduce it. It's better. See, they could have reduced and cancel. So all those sort of work, I work behind the scenes and do all that for the client. So it's a lot of benefit for as an advisor.
Malu, in other words, you're doing a duty of due diligence for lele ina ia ta pena lele. Ia mea umalawe winga ila matau pula leo le insurance. O sa o le la.
Yes, sa o le.
O la ina tupu mai se whaalawe lawe a o lo iai se KiwiSaver tangata o le le whaatulangana po le process e mawhai ai o na whaatino le tau mawhainga e au mai matala i tua ia le KiwiSaver lea.
Yeah, so the KiwiSaver, obviously, or the KiwiSaver is a retirement savings that was put in place by the government for our citizens way back 2000, early 2000, 2005, 2007, whichever it was. And so that KiwiSaver, because if you're working, you contribute golupasenge minimum. You could do 4, 6, 8, or 10, but golupasenge is the minimum. Then your employer, lo pule, your company puts in their golupasenge, and then the government puts in as well. So that money is growing every year. You'll see the balance go straight up. It's not like your savings in your bank grows very slow. It's very slow, but KiwiSaver grows really fast. That's why a lot of Kiwis, they can use that for their first home, and Emele probably helps a lot of people with that. But the good thing about KiwiSaver as well is not only for your retirement, but Kalosia, touch wood, we make it to 65, but as you know, Savia, we don't know, hoping tomorrow, what's going to happen with us in our langa and lumangai and that. So if somebody, pass away and in Kupusumeliu, they die before 65, ai le o le 65 ele kolo mai le KiwiSaver
Ia.
so that le kupele ko kongu le KiwiSaver, let's say for example le se lau afe in the KiwiSaver, then they really mai le ainga to the KiwiSaver company, and they say, oh mali lo ko lua o lo kali o lo ainga and le KiwiSaver le policy number le lima fa like that, and the kangulo KiwiSaver company check the account and say, oh yeah, there's a lau afe ka la le ko kongu le KiwiSaver le. And then for me, the fifingi, the mother, for example, the wife says, "Oh, how do I call that KiwiSaver because we need to use that money?" Everything will feel the process. And so with KiwiSaver, if it's under fully mafi, ele will need it. So there's no will needed if it's under 15,000. If I really process to release the money, but if it's over 15,000. The KiwiSaver over fully mafi, or the way Wi-Fi is you put that person as a nominated beneficiary on your KiwiSaver. Because I nominated beneficiary like your sister on there or your husband, your wife, and you named them on your KiwiSaver account as a nominated beneficiary. And that way, if vaviaing speed up the process, kung kupe. Le menga kupu le Herald, the New Zealand Herald, le sia so le finge mauli, she went and complained on the Facebook. And nga faila ko will. She had a will for her husband. Kanga lo finge apply for the KiwiSaver money to kolo because umaliu le kolua.
Yeah.
If I pay finge le will, if ave. But if ave, if there's a will, especially for life insurance, but KiwiSaver esele kula fongo, and then the KiwiSaver company looked at it and they said, oh. Yeah, o le KiwiSaver lo ko lua leo over limas fulu afe. Ele say named beneficiary on here. He's the only one on the policy. But he didn't have a named beneficiary. I could finger because she didn't understand, ele mala me fapenga. She said, hey, it doesn't matter. We have a will. By the KiwiSaver company. Oh, kusaba fa ele will. Sorry, we have to take it through the whamasingo or through probate. I could finger I'll put it all on the Facebook. So a lot of people because yes, a will is very important to release the life insurance and it saves you going through all the probate single. But KiwiSaver, you have to have a named beneficiary. Named beneficiary. And so that's the key word there. So we Mako meeting the other day at work regarding that, just to remind our KiwiSaver clients. Because if you just put your name there alone, Savea, Leatawa, and no name beneficiary, Kupulo se Faravea always Savea, and then Vili Melo Hinga the KiwiSaver company, then it may be a problem. Messia, if it's over $15,000 the Palingi and your KiwiSaver, then you have to go through the courts, probate, it might take 1 year before the money released. So that name beneficiary on there is a very important component in your KiwiSaver application.
Malu.
So, I thought I just it's a good one to bring up, and just silifia
tele tauna silifia ya le tunu ya me ya fa fengo fia I mole anga I duma.
Yes.
Ani tulanga le lei ma le taua fo le tilo yai te tau ona a fai te mana o mia a la ma fai ona tali mai ai I le company insurance I lo mana onga.
For it should look so the benefit of the insurance company
yes.
So with the insurance, like life insurance or medical insurance, insurance trauma, so there's all these different type of insurance that people have. If you're a customer, which insurance company is the right one for you? Even though they're all good, Chubb, AIA, Astron, Fidelity, Partners Life, they're all very good in terms of claims rating. Some of them have an A- rating, some of them have an A+, AA, A superior, but they're all, sort of in that A bracket. So in other words, that means Uluwingon Menga, the company's pretty good, is very good. As long as Metawa, you are honest at the beginning. Like I said, you're honest with your
Health.
answers when you do the application. But in terms of ratings and which providers the best, or the job now, the insurance provider advisor like me. So when I get your application, for example, life insurance layer, and if you're looking at a score or the core score, so the score shows how strong the company is in terms of paying out, how strong their products are. So with AIA's core score here, se lau pesengi on here. And same as Astron.
Yeah.
Astron for se lau pesengi. Chubb, se lau pesengi. Fidelity, Partners Life. So all of them the same. So even the score of all those different insurance companies. Then you look at a supplementary score, and that's a score that looks at all the different strengths of the products, their kind of benefits. So then you got AIA again, a 92%, Astron 92, Chubb a little bit lower on 83, Fidelity 83, and Partners Life 92. So then they differ like a score when it comes to that section. And that could be because some companies have a bit more products than others. That could be these different variation, different reasons, but those score always changes. So then you come to the maikinga inga, the trauma one. Makauri foi, that's for heart attacks, cancer, strokes. If you get one of those, e kongi oe lump sum. So then again, you got AIA 94%, Astron 99, Chubb 99. See now, Chubb and Astron are higher now than AIA, Fidelity 94, Partners 100. So it changes all the time. So it's important, very ta'aua, to know all these different scores in determining which company is best to go with. So when I sit in front of my client on the second meeting, not the first one, I'll be meeting on the second one when I do the price, the statement of advice, and then if I the core score and all the strength ratings of all the different insurance companies. That way it gives my client, if I go silly fear for my clients why I'm picking the company there over this one, because of the score, because of the rating. Even though they're all very similar, they're all very good, but I explain why it's Tawa for me to pick this company for them. It's the right fit for them. So yeah, so that's how I work it when I do my second meeting and show them the different scores.
Websites, a company insurance name, would they have records of stories and different experiences from different people and customers?
Yeah. Different insurance companies will have their testimonies on their websites, on their claims, how much claims they go every year, millions of dollars of claims. So yeah, that'll be all on their websites. Yeah. So.
Leale tā wole ia yo se joint ownership for lele pe a o ina whaatino se application for a policy, but lua tangata i o le a whaongaina le policy lea.
Malu, si le joint ownership over single ownership. So if I have a client, kaulia whaakasile husband and wife. Yeah, if I le joint ownership. But e kusa pea kaulia le husband, I le kaulia le wife. Because her maybe too many ngase-ngases, high risk, and then only the husband go there. I still encourage him, if I yell joint ownership, because of the joint ownership, malo sit kong kalake over a single one. If I single ownership, then make sure they will.
My nominated beneficiary as well.
Yeah, or for KiwiSaver, yeah, but for life insurance, if I single application, single ownership. Yeah, make sure me ka wale fail will, because otherwise ali esi will. Then umit fa kali for the ba mawase ba fail claim. Ba ku push fa la kanga. Then you put the claim in. It's gonna take a long time. I fail joint ownership. Ku sa pa le kaulia le si kaulia le. I fail joint ownership. It's better in terms of if I claim, because if really mailis kanga kasi shakil insurance company. Oh yeah, they joint ownership on here. Yeah. Because they are the ones to pay, they're the beneficiaries. They're the joint application, joint ownership. The only problem with joint ownership are kupuse misa le ngali. And then they divorce or separate. Ale joint ale application. So e kusapea separate le ngali ai a o kisesi e ko kongi ku pele ngaka ai
Okay.
you know will divorce le couple, but still e ka ngwale insurance company pay the money to the ex-husband or the ex-wife because ele I suile joint ownership because they were joint. That's the only problem of joint. If they have a misa fapenga, a separation, then they need to fill out the new forms. Is split lako ownership so that they're no longer joint fapenga together.
O tō titi atai pe o le mea fo lelo le prenuptial agreement fo lele.
Yeah,
Yeah.
prenuptial. That's it.
La le tā ua o le pe a whai o le a whai ia sau mā vaianga fo lele o le will. How important is having, the advantage of having a will?
Yeah, very taua because even though who sabe a failure joint ownership, but a will is still very taua because what about if something happened to the joint ownership, like in terms of la verka valele, leongali ilia, and they both die in a car crash, then who's left over? Kameki
Yeah.
and so aliasa will. Both of the applicants will, fioki in a car crash. Therefore, you need a will because then the kids say umit whakali because nobody's alive in the joint ownership. They both pass away together. So a will is very strong. Avoids the probate. If I'm a single, you still go through a bit of probate, but if I process, if you have a will, I say will, then there's a long wait for the family when they put the claim in. If both the joint ownership, pass away in the car together. And so the other thing about a will, a fairly online will, like there's companies like Perpetual Guardian Trust, Simple Wills, Public Trust, online wills. There's all these different online wills. It only takes like 10 minutes, fill out the form, failure will, and then you pay se laukala or valusukala or lua se laukala. But those are basic will. Those are like okay, the money goes to your mum, your sister, your brother for penga, and you write down the names of kangaka e mga umiai ave kupe. So those are very simple wills. But if you have a mokesi, you have maybe more than one mokesi, you may have a lot of children, then it's better to go get a proper advice from a will specialist, from a lawyer even. Lawyers can do wills. But they cover everything, not just no, they cover a lot of other things in regards to wills, like power of attorney, ongoing power of attorney. There's a lot of other complex things they cover. So it's best to go seek proper advice, rather than just fill out the online will, yourself. So yeah, those are the sort of things you have to think about when you're doing a will. And
Malu.
so, yeah, very taua, very taua to have a will.
Yeah.
But get advice if you have, complicated situation.
Ia mā vaianga fo lele whai e Samoa i aso ia.
Yeah.
Ia, e whai fo lele whai ngutu o tulawa o le whalongolongo bali whanau. Mai mai. O whalongo kule o koe lava lo malosi. E wai whangua mara kua oile i o. O le whangua le ngā. E ave a pai mara whai ngofo ai lea ma lea. E whai ele kaukua ma lea. Ia mai lo ia palangi. O le whainga o tātou mā vaianga. Ia tau na ai e le tūla whono. Ina ia awane i misa ma whetōtoa. Ia tangata i e whiola pēr o mātu lesi. Ia me se whanau ma. Tā ua i tele whawhtei tele lewa i lau sunga mat. O le telefoni lina sunga ia mat lua tua. O lua fitu, valu tolu fitu, valu wha, valu o.
Oi, sorry, Savea, o le o lua fitu, valu tolu iwa.
Sorry, na we lunga i whai na. O lua fitu, valu tolu iwa, tasi fitu, tasi wha, o le uwhai tau atu ia le pepa ale whale tua ia Emele. But watch that number on the screen. Take it down and leave it on your fridge or wherever that it's easier for you to find. Call Matt. Ia mawala au Matt sau ia whamurumore se i whais ia sata mawaianga. Ia, le ole nā. Sau se i sau e au maise company le lei e talawhenga i ole a whai ai ia se policy mo le insurance mo le whanau ia po le ainga fo. Whawhtei tele Matt. It's always wonderful. Talanoa ia te oe ma
Thank you.
Fa soa mai fo I lo to mai malo wang va. Ina ia fa ona mal malama le tunu. Ia, ma ria le nei of yafi sa no nga muli mai lo sunga ile. Ile le I fa tonu.
Malu lava whaftai lava mlawa no I mamuri de whaftai mal wha malu lo tō pa ia sa vea man malu Samoa I lo tō whafonga lo pokalame leni aso malu whaftai malu no sai malu tapuai. Whamanuia lea tua tiutu ma whaiva I leni aso so I fua. Whilua next week.
Tele lava whilua I le vai aso fau. Ia, le na ua tawalunga atu I le tanuanga fo I male sunga ia. Matt lua tua o le li I whatonu, ia e mwhaiuna whautua ia te oe. Advice for life e winga I le whaiolo insurance. Ia whapena fo I le whaio sau mawanga. O mata upulu nei, e matua I li tata I eisa moa I le tino tausanga o mawai. A lea lava, ua whai ma o a uinai I tātou, ma whautua I nai I tātou, ua tātou te popole I le nābe o le oti a popole I tangata I e whiola. Le vaaru I o kupi. Ia, ai. O lea la o mai atu le telefoni la sunga ia metu lua tua o lua fitu valu tolu iwa tasi fitu tasi wha. Lea o se mai ia le sao le whare tua ia Emele Palamo. Ia o tasi fo I o fonga o le tātou porkalame le nei o le Malu I Fale. Ia, e whaatalo whatu mo le ngā whaalwalo, ma lo le soi fōmanuia, whaapoi moe sa manuia, le amatango le neiva yaso le o tātou taunu umai le o ngā tonu ngā le mū I le asolulu. O le isi fo I wha popongo le tāporo kalame, Malu le Fale. Talo whalava a whio baia lau a whionga le whaltua.
Ia, ma lo fo I soi fōmanuia lau whionga sa vea, ia. E mo ia lo a matana marulu mai ai. O me sile o le vai atu nai soi fōmanuia lau whionga, ia whaatalo whaatu fo ile. Ma malu le tunu o whaafonga mai le nea fiafi.
Whaamoi sa manuia le nei aso ina ua ngā e fo I ma oso le lai le tai au, ia ma ngā I atu fo I tiute ma whaiva ma sani. Le ase tala mai. I teimi e umaia tāpuru kalambe o maua ni a manoa tau te tala noa ma whaasoa I fo I manisi o le mamalu o le atunu o le tātou lavanga ngana.
Ia, ma lo lava sa vea o le fo I nei a inga to o lua leo tanga otko le le message aina whaalongolongo fo I le tā last po kalame le na iai o le e whaatali mei sei uma fo ka tala noanga ia na vili atu lea. E pe lava o lau sau noanga. Ia o lo iai lava le mamalu le atu o lea lava e whaalongolongo. Sometimes it takes them a while e tau whaalongolongo le po o ngā whiele alu iai le tātou mata upu ia ai mo le tari lau sili ia o lo tele lava le mamalu le atu o lea lava e sili ma sa ili lava le manuia a wale se maota a wale ia le ainga ma whanau foi.
Ma dia lava, ma lo whaaftai o lo o maua lea manoa wae, tō tele la tau te wala au mai. Ia mau wha manatu fo I ai. Ia laun telefoni, ina ia mwhai o na maua le tō so ta inga. Tā o tu I the city o le tāporo kalame. What does it mean by buying a home off plan?
O le tūlanga le pe iwa o le vai taule nei, wa whio lolo lava ia le mamalu le tunu, not just our people, but ona o le telo developments ia iai. E pe o le mana ia lea o le fasili ona o ia malama mai le mamalu le tunu. Po lea lea tūlanga o le buying a home of plans, o lona winga. O fale fo ia te roto lai le I na o se display home le tu mai, or a new development o lea lala e alu e whaatau sau fale. Based on the plans po lato ata ia e whaali mai. So the home hasn't been built yet. O lea la a whailau whiwhilinga po lea le tu ai ngā whale te whaatau wina. Based on the drawings po plans o mai. So you are buying it without seeing the actual home.
Wow.
Were based on le ata le o tu mai o luma. Or maybe a display le a mai le lato. Se lato display for ngale se video display home. So o tūlanga ia ona watele lava developments e iai, pe te lato lai e advertise mai, these are the homes we're building. Ia ona whaile lau whiwhilinga oe ma, nei ala le la whaatau so whale based on what I see.
E mua e mata I meo diagrams, ia meo ata ia ua uma peia ua uma na whai. O le I whawina le whale. O le ala le, O nisi o vaenga fo le e te tau o na uia pe a whai o le a wha moe e wha tau le whale le ai te le wa ia.
O le mana ye le fsili le sa vea ona e iai lava le tele o tutuunga pe iai ia inga e te tau lava ona fautoina le mamalu le tunu ina ia lato tau mawhai i whaatino ia vaenga o le memo mua lava. E tā ua tele le whai o se tato pre-approval. Tu sa lava pe e whatu a uma le whawina o le whale lea e le tausanga pe lua tausanga i lumanai. O le manai o le pre-approval. Ona e sila le iai a whape o le there would be a plan ona tiritilo le iai. Oh, okay. A whape la e tausanga ai he pe lua tausanga ai he le e whaatali ei sei uma le whainga le whale. Ona e lo le, the bank is happy to give me the money based on my current situation. Ona i lola ia, e mawhai ana o sosoani ate oe, if you're using me, po le ase plan, e mawhai ana boost le tatou deposit, while le la tele le ia tausanga ia, there's a few more months ahead, e mawhai ana te whaise se tatou plan, ina ia o tina umalau le whale le la whai, o lea la ititi le tatou mo kesi ono le walu ilunga le tatou deposit o le tāua le tūlanga lea. Ona ua iai all my years of banking. Ua iai le mamalu, not just our people, but generally the public. Ua iai tangata wofa atau latou fale off plans without a pre-approval. Ai olo lai taime o lela a close to settlement. Ua uma na fale fale. E vatu le application le bank it decline mai. So we do have a major problem. Pe a whaapea le iai sau pre-approval. Ai e au mai le iai se lenda e mawhai ona whaatau nuina le tatou mataupu. So you are likely to lose low deposit lenga tu ilalo. So le tāua lava lea le make sure e iai se tatou pre-approval o le si tūlanga. Ia ai tele isai nia le kon kalake le la whai o le buying of plans. E tāua tele le su e solo ia. Ona iai ngā lai tutono o le kon kalake le e te tau na wha amala malama le lei ai le isainia. Like a sunset clause i tūlanga wha peso o meia e wha amala malama le lei e loia i a tātou. Ina ne iai se tūlanga e pe the company may go bankrupt. Or they may go under o le ale mea la atupu pe au o tia ia le umana whailo fale. So e tāua le loia o le si tūlanga e mana ia le whamanatu le manu le tunu. Wa o le ala e sile plans ona maybe a whapea o lai te malamalama i lei dimensions sa. Ai fautuaina i eisa sia malamalama pe whape ile tele o lea wholoa la a au mai. Ona ualana o ta'ona, I've seen families that have bought off plans. Ele o eisa malamalama anga pe whape ile tele o lea potumoe. Whape ile tele o lea sitting room. What does the layout look like?
The reality of it.
Yes. So e tāua tele lo sila pe iaise si e mawhai ona whaatino mai ia te oe pe te homai le whale, ia na tosole le vase po a measurement, e te ia sila. Wui, ni ke ua au mailo sitting room e, kong ia kula pengi lesi piko ngā lakua pa lesi wall. So it's very important e sila pe iaise si e malamalama ia tūlanga. So you have an idea o le ale tele o le whale lela au mai.
Nana wenga la e mawhai anu tau ngā lue matangata ia au maia plans ma mai mene. So you can actually look at the specifications of o le tele sa o la leo o le mea o leo tilo iai. O le poku moi o ka maki le mea le ra. So what is the benefit of having a pre-approval before you do such an interaction or a transaction of buying an off loan, a house?
I just briefly on that, the pre-approval before.
Nice.
Based on your current situation, the bank, they are happy to approve that for you. If you're working with a mortgage broker, le mortgage broker a o lei whaatinoina a lei uma le whainga le whale, a whaapea iei se suinga o lo financial position. ua e alu whaatau sau taawale pe tolus full fast full wafe. Ua pe ua sui lau ngā luenga within the space of time le ai le I uma lau.
Le Fale.
Ele I uma na fausia lau Fale. The bank is likely to decline le tato application pe ato e abe. Wa mantua fo ele pre-approval only last afa pe you buying of plans. Generally allow mai le bank le se fululua ma sina. Ai silasila ia inga le au mai ele conditional approval le la au mai ele bank. They always have a clause na sa wailalo, subject to your financial position not changing. Mela le mana ele work with a mortgage advisor if fa malamalama tulanga ia. Fa pene te o Jesus wing o longa luenga. You've lost some hours or Jesus tato hire purchase or a loan wa faile valea until the completion o le tato mota. O lona winga yeni tu unga e tawana whaatau nuu ai lei to e venga le tato resubmission before completion of the property o tūlanga o mai e mana ele whai as a pre-approval o na yeile o se tato plan ahead ina ia awane yeni nisi me whaale tonu ai ele I umana na whaule tato whaale.
Ma lo whafta is le tāua. Lale se sengo o le lo yama conveyancer.
Mana ia se lele fsilile o conveyancing generally they just deal with conveyancing. Oisi banks, ele o banks umalato te allowinga. They will allow conveyancing companies to do the le tūlanga le atato. But most banks will accept a lawyer wa le lawyer la pe e tele manga ese o le lato advice le mawhaina lato whaile willy and whaina lato whaia power of attorneys o tūlanga umawhapea. So the lawyer is a little bit more broad in my limited understanding le iai.
And also
nena elena o isi taimi ele taliaina le bank a conveyancing company e whaatinoina tūlanga ia. So there's a little bit of a limitation I suppose from the bank's perspective.
Malo, ta ua tele e ai lava I lato e ata mabai le tu la fono, whaangai lo ia property law, ia ma le real estate law e tau le tātou tau sia. Ina ia mautinoa, e so solo le lei ia tātou tāpenanga, pe a whai o mawhau e whātau se whale. What happens for some reason the valuation of the new home is lower than the asking price or the purchase price?
O le mana e fo ia o le sili le ona o te masalo le o malamala mai le tele le o le mamalu le tunu. A wha pea o lau maota le na saingi lau kongkalake pe iwa se la wafe. Le na whaatau mai based on the plans. Le la a umalola we mantue mana o mia la bank evaluation on this in this case. O le la peto e tasi le masina ai ele ia foi ele I serulo fale pe ele ia mai ele ki ia toi mana o miela le bank evaluation na avatu le tato le poki le valuation le na le value e fai e mai pe na o le valu se lau le masfulu le value o le fale. O le bank will use the lowest of the two. So ele whaongaina le bank le iwa se la wafele na whaatau mai e o le fale based on plans. The bank will use the lower of the two. So in this case, o le a whaongala le bank le valu se lau lima sfulu. O le a whaina la le la iai o le a whaina I le tato deposit. So depending on po le tato deposit le na iai, a whaapela o le we are looking at a higher level of deposits. E whiololo la wale e le ilano mai o le 20%. Ai afa pe e ititi le tato deposit. This could mean that we will end up paying a low equity margin. Pe afa pe o le our deposit ends up to be 20%. So all simple terms, it means the bank will use the lower of the two, which is the valuation amount. E if we live ceiling here the bank may question over capitalize it tato le totongi o le vaenga le wa iwa sela wafi. So it's ele lava facility push back my ele bank. They may ask for a little bit more detail from le vaengalena fawina le fale po
Revalue
what
le
is the
fale.
difference? Is it different materials or le ale me wala yuna ese tūlanga whapea?
Malo, whaatai ese le tāua. Whamoe lo poe maua mai ia le tātou tunu. E mai se lava o tau o ta mauntina mātua mai la tau fo i o ainga fau. O whaato a whaavai le ainga le i whain ta maiti a la o whapea teinoa. Tā lima tau sanga mua le ala a tāna no fo nei. O ingi whain ka maiki, main ka pusi, main ka mai le mua. A se whapukus ka me. Whai se ki posi o ka whare. Whaatai tele lava Emele. Mo le taimi e tā o tele ia me se fo nei whaamtalanga ina ia. E awa ui nai mo whaamanatu le tātou tunu. Le tamaitai o lo whautua whaapitoa e whai mo fofonga i luma o le pule o le whaletupe. Ia po le mortgage broker le whaletua ia Emele Palamo o le numero le telefoni nai te sila ma tanga i fo i lunga le tātou screen o le olu a fitu valu tolu fitu valu wha valu o. Manuia tele leia fiafi, whaaftai tele mo le sosia o lo o sa saa pea, ma avea ma whaamnianga i lo tātou o tunu, tāte whilo a i pea, ai ia whaasuifu ia ma whaamniua atu le atua i ngā luenga le leio lo whaatino ina ua ngā ngaifo o whaiva. Ia ma Samoa fo i le neia so lulu bali whaaloa.
Whaasuifua.
Ia soifua ia. Whaaftai tele. Numera na le whantua ia Emele Palamo, o le olu a fitu, valu tolu fitu, valu fa, valu o. Olu a fitu, valu tolu fitu, valu fa, valu o.